Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome into the Bozard Ford Studios. We're excited you're here, and we're excited we have an amazing guest in here. We have Chairman of the St. Johns County Veterans Council, Bill Dudley, Lieutenant Colonel Bill Dudley in studio with us. Good friend, just happy to call him my friend, but I appreciate him coming in, and he's going to talk about some veteran stuff that's happening on this Memorial Day weekend. We will get to all that, but first, we got to talk about our amazing sponsor, and that is Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's been a trusted family-owned part of the St. Augustine community for over 75 years. Founded by U.S. Navy veterans Fred H. Bozard Jr. and Fred Bozard III, their legacy of service continues today through unmatched customer care, award-winning facilities, and a deep community involvement. From the 91 climate control service bays to our no appointment quick lane. That's amazing. Wi-Fi in the customer lounge and the fantastic food and drinks at Ford's Garage Restaurant. Try the Jiffy Burger. Everything they do is designed to serve you. Experience their nationally recognized customer service honored by Triple Crown Award, President's Award, and more. Bozard Ford Lincoln is here to serve you with great pricing, great selection, and even better people. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. All right, other big shout-outs. We got to talk about our amazing sponsors, Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Ben 39 Wine Bar, coming in tonight on Bollocks, B&S Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, St. Augustine Handy House. And if you would, please support our wonderful sponsors and support us with the likes and shares. Please join us in the comments. Blake's going to be checking those throughout the day today. And if you haven't already, get in there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to that 1,000 mark. We're a little over 900 right now. We're trying to get to that mark right there. And if you're really enjoying the show, hit those Facebook stars. That's how we keep the lights on. And there we go. Hey, Blake, how you doing back there, man?
I'm doing great. We finally got some good comments to put in my comment report already.
You already got some. All right. All right, Lieutenant Colonel, how are you this morning?
I'm doing fine, Troy.
Appreciate you coming in. Always good to talk to you. And get out the word that you guys are doing with the Veterans Council and what's going on. But we're going to get to that in just a second. Great. First thing we have to do, and you're gonna have to participate in this one too. The question of the day. All right, our question of the day: would you rather travel? This is you personally. Would you rather travel to a cold country or a warm country? Now you've traveled all over the world.
I have.
What is your preference?
Well, I've lived on the equator. So I've had the heat. Mm-hmm. I served a period of time up in Goose Bay, Labrador, so I've had the cold.
That sounds horrible.
I'm in Florida, and I'm right where I want to be.
So I'm here. You're good. You're at the perfect climate.
Perfect climate.
All right, and this one's not even close for me. I'm a warm and hot weather guy. I do not do well I whine and complain, and just getting dressed for the cold aggravates me. Yeah, putting on the layers and the socks and the boots and everything. And did I remember everything? No, so cold never wins.
You always have to layer up when you go outside, just to walk the dog.
Yeah, no. I went to Iceland and I complained every time I got dressed. So it's hot weather for me, 100%. Blake, what about you, man?
I guess I'll have to say hot weather as well, because there is like a fine line between like decently cold and like super cold. I don't want to be in like super cold, but definitely like 50s is like the perfect like 60 like 55 65 is like the perfect cold for me.
That's good for you. See, that's too cold for me. That's just too cold for me.
Whiny.
So, I know. No, I'm Florida boy through and through, and I don't mind a little bit of sweat. All right, with that, I got to take a quick look at the weather, and it is going to be a good day, a little warm, but a good day. All right. And that weather report is brought to us by Ben 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets, Bin 39, tucked inside the St. Augustine Inn at the north end of St. George Street, with over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's the perfect spot for a romantic date or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sip by the glass or bottle in the serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday, open daily, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Bin 39, your taste to discover. And let me tell you, they're coming in. I'm excited about them coming in today. Irving has, so much experience in the wine. So on the afternoon show today, we're going to do a little tasting. Blake's going to drive me home. So we'll be riding together tonight, Blake. All right. And it is time for the Hit the Blake's traffic report.
Traffic. So this is I-95 at the near the 206 exit.
Looks a little foggy.
Yeah, surprisingly so. It definitely is a little bit foggy, but it looks like there is a police present off the off ramp going northbound going off of 206. But do please be careful though. So
yeah, it looks a little foggy out there. Looks like it's not moving that quick.
Yeah.
On either side.
Mm-hmm. That might be like depth perception or something like that. So
yeah, it might be.
All right. But that traffic report was brought to you by Old Town Charlie. Climb aboard Old Town Charlie and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Casilla de San Marco, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, off-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum and locals. St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program at hometownpass.com. Old Town Charlie, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time.
All right. We got one story that we got to talk about, and then we're going to get to our interview with Lieutenant Colonel Bill Dudley. But this came out. Deputy Superintendent is chosen as the next leader of St. Johns County School District. My good friend Tim Forson is retiring again. So they had to do a nationwide search, and they ended up finding the best person right here underneath us. So St. Johns County District has officially named their next superintendent, and it's a familiar face within the district, Dr. Brennan Aspian. Currently serving as the Deputy Superintendent of Operations for St. Johns County Schools, was unanimously selected by the school district Tuesday morning to take the district's top leadership role. Aspian is no stranger to leading a school system. He previously served as superintendent of Sarasota County Schools from 2020 to 2023 and was one of the 4 finalists for the position in St. Johns County. School board member Jennifer Collins emphasized that the decision was not automatic, despite Aspian's existing role with the district. She noted that each candidate was strong, but ultimately Aspian focused on students really stood out. Dr. Aspian has a heart for the children in mind and will do a good job for them, Collins said. The board held a special meeting last week to interview the 4 finalists, followed by a public meet and greet at First Coast Technical Center, where candidates engaged with parents, students, and staff. During the search process, Aspian highlighted his commitment to open communication, saying, effectively educating your students is a collaborative effort, and open communication is where it begins. At last week's community event, Aspian outlined his top priorities, including managing growth. Good luck with that one. Addressing budget needs and expanding technology in the classroom. You always got to keep up with that for sure. We're doing well, Aspian said, but where are the gaps that we can work on and move to the next level to be the best in the state and the nation? So good luck, Dr. Aspian. I'm going to have Superintendent Forson in here kind of as an exit interview. of his time and career with St. Johns County School District. And we're excited him moving on to that portion of his life as a friend. And we're excited that, Dr. Aspen is going to be our next guy. So it is time to get to our main interview. Lieutenant Colonel Bill Dudley, and you and I go back probably in the early 2000s.
Right.
When we did Veterans Park together.
Right.
And
exactly.
when I was at Parks and Recreation, and we've been able to cross paths several different times throughout our career. You came on a radio show on Common Ground several times. But Lieutenant Colonel, if you would, what is your role at the Veterans Council? What is it that the Veterans Council actually does?
Well, before I get into that, Troy, let me just say that I really appreciate, and the Veterans Council appreciates the fact that you have been so supportive of veterans over the years. I have been on your radio show. I've been on your podcast several times. You're always there to support us, and we really appreciate that, being a voice for our veterans in the community in many, many respects. And you and I know how important an event we had this year when we opened Veterans Village for our veterans, for our homeless veterans. My role as the chairman of the Veterans Council is to be the voice for veterans in St. Johns County. We have 28 different veterans organizations, such as American Legion, VFW, Vets for Vets, those types of organizations representing approximately 23,000 veterans in this county. And so the Veterans Council is kind of the head of an amalgamation of all of those veterans organizations in the county. We meet the last Thursday of every month at 7 o'clock at the Health and Human Services building in the Muscovy room here in on San Sebastian View. We encourage anyone to come and be a part of our Veterans Council meeting that evening. We always have at least two speakers at every meeting that are speaking on something that supports or pertains in some way to veterans. So that's kind of my role. I work very closely with our county Veteran Service Office, Joe McDermott, who's the director of that department.
I don't think I've ever called him Joe.
Me either. It's Mac.
It's Mac.
But I work very closely with his department and his service officers. They contact me almost daily saying, Bill, we got a veteran in need for his utilities. He's behind in his utilities and needs some help with that. He's got a car repair. These are some things that I run into almost daily. And the Veterans Council is there to support, help that in a monetary way.
Yeah. And we talked about, you talked about Veterans Village, and you joined Home Again. You had a vision of finding a home for veterans, for homeless veterans. Well, you tried something off of Homes, is it off of Homes? Not off Homes, off of Old Moultrie. Old Moultrie. That looked like it had some momentum, and then it kind of fell apart, which happens. It happens in government quite a bit. We got with you at Home Again. You already had so much good momentum with the state, and Veterans Village doesn't happen without your connection and the Veterans Council connection. I know I've been involved in a lot of interviews, but there's a reason why we named the community center Bill Dudley Community Center at Veterans Village there, and it was because of your contributions and what you've been able to do for veterans in this community. You went over there, and I don't want to say strong arm, but you convinced the politicians to create a funding source that allowed Home Again and the Veterans Council to find Veterans Village. And right now we're housing about 19 residents over there. Yes. Yeah, that would have been on the street.
Yeah.
Any other time.
Many of those veterans were either sleeping in their cars, they were couch surfing, they were sleeping on an airbag or an air mattress, if you will, in someone's basement or in their garage. And so we were able to take those veterans off the street and house them in Veterans Village.
And I've talked a little bit about this on air. One of the things that I've loved with watching the growth of Veterans Village is we had 19 individuals that were kind of isolated, and now they're kind of come together as a group, and they lean on each other.
They do.
That they did not do 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's great for their mental health. I think it's great for our organization that they have that almost the band of brothers coming together, living there, and they take pride in their individual housing units, which to me, we're talking about somebody who was on the street, and now, I mean, they've taken full ownership of that change. Warms my heart in a lot of ways.
It does, Troy, and it's one of the things that we stress is trying to get these veterans to socialize together, and they're doing exactly that, and they are coming together now. I mean, you got to remember, in the military, you're trained to operate as a unit, as a team, and when they don't have that team environment anymore around them. Many of these veterans just can't cope. They fall apart. Many of them are suffering from PTSD. I'm on the advisory group for our Veterans Treatment Court, and it's one of the things that we stress is that camaraderie and trying to recreate that camaraderie and team spirit with these veterans.
Yeah. All right, and I want to kind of talk because your life. Right, we're going to talk. About you personally, because your life is really interesting of where you are and how you've gotten to where you're at right now. And then after we do a couple reads, we're going to talk about Memorial Day ceremonies and stuff like that. But you went into the Air Force in 55.
1955.
1955. So the Air Force was still kind of a baby. I mean, it was established in like 47.
47. It was still in its infancy. In fact, when I went in, many of our veterans, many of our airmen who were in the Air Force at that time were still wearing the olive green uniform.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Didn't even have their blues.
Oh, so they were still in the Army.
Many of them were still in the Army Air Force.
Oh, wow. So, so you were in 55, and you barely made it in during the end of the Korean War. So you're considered a Korean War veteran. That's right. You're a Vietnam veteran and a Cold War veteran. So did you always want to be a pilot, or what drew you into that? Because I mean, like I said, Air Force was a very infant branch.
It was
at the time when you went in. So what drew you to be?
Well, I had an uncle, and my Uncle Bill, and my mother's youngest brother, who was a pilot, World War II. He was in the ETO in the European theater as a fighter pilot. I always just kind of emulated him.
He was my model,
and so I wanted to be like Uncle Bill, and so I saw my opportunity with going in the Air Force, and at the time that I went in, you didn't have to be college educated to be able to become an officer. You could apply for OCS, which I did in my 7th week in basic training. I applied for OCS. I passed the OCS exam and was accepted into OCS. I thought, this is great. They're going to let me out of basic training. I had to finish basic training 13 weeks, and then I went into OCS with no break. Had to go through basic training all over again. So I did 26 weeks of basic training before I was actually commissioned as an officer. I didn't get my college degree until after I was in the Air Force and did graduate school after I got out of the Air Force.
Gotcha.
Yeah. but you were accepted. You could become an officer without a degree at that when I went in the 50s.
Yeah. And next week we have a veteran in to talk about Vietnam, but your experience in Vietnam. What were you flying in Vietnam, and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was never in country, boots on the, as we say, boots on the ground in country, and in Vietnam. My mission, I was flying MAC missions, which are military support missions. With I was flying C-130s at the time, C-124s and C-130s and cargo aircraft, all in support of Vietnam.
So you were in Japan at the time?
I was in Japan. I was in several different places where we were flying missions to fly goods or troops or whatever the needs were for support of Vietnam.
All right. Blake, you want to do the Gas Buddy gas report for us?
Do that. Let me pull up. All right. We got the Gas Buddy gas report time. Please let us know in the comments what you're seeing out there in St. Johns County and around the U.S. Right now in St. Augustine, we have the Owens at 78 South Ponce de Leon Boulevard at 282. The Sunoco at 2199 North Ponce de Leon at 284. The Circle K at 715 State Road 207 at 285. The Shell at 146 King Street at 287. We also have the Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard at 289. The Sunoco at 450 South Ponce de Leon Boulevard at 289. Shell 2350 North Ponce de Leon Boulevard also at 289. And then we also have the Mobile Circle K also at 289. A1A Discount Beverage on the Island, 299. And the Circle K at US 1 at 307. All right. You want to do the bin?
All right. I got Chris Lucero. Chris Lucero bail bonds. Trouble with the law. Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero bail bonds, available 24/7. Their experience and compassionate team works fast to get you and your loved ones out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and number. Chris Lucero bail bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. All right, our live music today, we're starting at 5 o'clock, comes to us from visitstaugustine.com. We have Jim Johnston at Catch 27 at 5 p.m., Zaza Flamenca at Fusion 904 Eatery at 5, Vinny Jacobs at Guy Harvey Resort at 5, Chubby McGee at Tide's Oyster Company and Grill at 5, Smokin' Joe Shower at Trade One's Lounge at 5, Damon Slaughter at O.C. White's Restaurant, 5 o'clock. Now we're moving to the 6 o'clock. We have Baby Gray at Iggy's Grill and Bar. We have Kirk Whalen at Old Coast Ales at 6, Caleb Joy at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill at 6, Zach Haywood at Salt Life Food Shack 6, Elizabeth Roth at St. John's County Ocean Pier. Oh, that's starting? All right. We need to get that list, Blake. And Dharma at Casa Divina 57 at 7 o'clock. And that music report is brought to us by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust the St. Augustine roofing experts, Fidus Roofing and Construction. Voted best of St. Augustine every year since 2012. From emergency repairs to full replacements, Fidus delivers expert shingle and metal roof installation using top-tier materials like the GAF Lifetime Roofing System and durable aluminum or Gavalume metal roof. Backed by trustworthy warranties and GAF Master Elite certification, Fidus Roofing ensures roofs that are built to last. 904-355-ROOF.
They do pavers
and gutters. All right. I got something going on here with my iPad, Blake. I might need you to help me out. I'm not sure what's happening here. I know. We're going to have to switch this up. But back to Lieutenant Colonel Dudley. You guys have a lot of stuff planned for this Memorial Day weekend. It's a big weekend. It's where we get to say thank you to those we lost. So kind of give us the weekend plan that you're seeing as veterans and how we can say a thank you to our veterans.
Well, thank you, Troy. We do have a big weekend. Memorial Day is Monday, the 26th of May. Our program will start at 10 a.m. At the St. Augustine National Cemetery. We ask if you're coming to try to carpool if you can. The main parking lot in front of the National Guard headquarters building will be open for our use. There are 2 parking lots directly behind the headquarters building that we can also use. And I work with the chief of police, Jennifer Michaud, and she always relaxes the yellow curbing restriction for us every year, so you can park along the yellow curbing as well. But we've got a great program lined up this year. We're very fortunate that we have General Craig McKinley. He's a retired Air Force 4-star. Is going to be our speaker this year. We're very fortunate to have him. General McKinley was a part of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and also was head of the National Guard Bureau. So he lives here locally now, and we're very, very fortunate that he has agreed to come and speak at our Memorial Day service this year. The service each year, the ceremony each year, is put on by our Military Officers Association, Ancient City Chapter, and the Veterans Council of St. Johns County. We do this in collaboration each year, as we do for Veterans Day. We usually have between 400 and 450 attendees each year. When we first started to doing this down at St. Francis Field downtown, we usually had about 100 people that would show up. This has just grown exponentially since we moved it over to the National Cemetery, and we really appreciate everyone who turns out for this to support and honor those who served, who have paid the full measure of serving, if you will. On Friday, we'll be doing what we call Flags In, and that's putting out the American flag on each one of the headstones at the cemetery. There are 1,240 headstones in the cemetery, and we put a flag, American flag, on each one of them. In the center of the cemetery is a walkway that goes through, and we put out the American flags, the large American flags for that as well. We call that the Avenue of Flags.
Gotcha.
And we put those out as well that day. And then, of course, on Monday at 10 a.m. is the ceremony, and then on Tuesday, the 27th, we take the flags back out. We call that Flags Out.
All right, and if you're not familiar with where it is, it's down at Marine Street there. Always wanted to ask this: what are the little pyramids that are there? You see the headstones and all those, and you see the names on them. And what are the little pyramids? What are those?
Those are the 3 pyramids are where members of Dade's troops that were massacred, if you will, by the Seminole Indians are buried under those 3 pyramids.
Okay.
I've forgotten exactly how many we call souls, how many souls are buried under there, but there's several hundred under those 3 pyramids.
And that's going back from the Seminole War?
Seminole Wars, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first and second one, or just the
first Seminole War, where Dade was attacked by the Seminole War, by the Seminoles coming back from the Tampa area to St. Augustine, and he was attacked.
Oh, okay. All right. I've always seen those, and I was like, what is that? What is that that for? So, okay. Well, thank you for that information. So, Colonel, what is something like we can do as a public to help the Veterans Council, to help veterans that are in need locally? Like you said, we have 29 veterans,
28 different veterans
28
organizations.
different veterans groups.
organizations.
What is something like we can do? I know I got Bobby, who's an Air Force vet, in our comments here, and we probably have some other vets in our comments here. But what is something we can do as individual citizens that would help ease what you're doing to make things better for our veterans?
Well, Troy, one of the things, and quite honestly, and I have to say this, we live in a very benevolent community. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of people that support veterans. Mm-hmm. There's an outpouring of people who call me all the time saying, Bill, I have furniture in my house. I'm getting ready to move, or I'm upgrading, or whatever. Would you like to have this furniture, or can you use it? And I do have a large 14 by 40 storage unit out at Atlantic Storage on 16. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of furniture in there that's donated. And when a veteran gets an apartment or gets a house, doesn't have any furniture, I just take them out and say, pick out what you want.
You get to go shopping.
Go shopping.
Yeah. And
it's all free to them. Mm-hmm. And then I'll line up some veteran volunteers, and they'll come and we'll get someone with a truck and a trailer or whatever we can scrounge up to use to move that furniture, and we'll go set it up in their apartment, in their house. And that's one way that people can help is, by donations. But quite honestly, what we always are in need of, as all organizations are, is money. Mm-hmm. Because the Veterans Council does help a lot of veterans in terms of paying when they get in arrears on their utilities, their insurance or rent or whatever. The Veterans Council steps up and pays it. Last year alone, our outlay, if you will, of financial help to veterans was a little over $144,000. That we, writing a check, $1,500 for this or $600 for that, or I just did a car repair.
Well,
for
you
a veteran.
Do. I mean, you did, and it. I mean, before we opened Veterans Village, and you still do this, is you'll take care of a veteran will come into town in need, and you'll say, all right, we'll take care of a hotel for 3 or 4 days for him, and you'd call me and say, hey, can you get me a hotel? And we usually had a pretty good relationship with that. But I don't think people realize that the Veterans Council is out there to help like that. So we kind of need to spread that word the best we can.
We do.
Instead of people getting too far away, ask for help early. And that's one of the things we're trying to get across in Home Again is like, ask for that help before you go homeless. Because it's harder to place you after the fact. It's easier to help before you actually get there.
And it is. And we try to stress this all the time. I stress it with our veteran service officers as well, to tell the veterans, before you get 3 months behind in your rent, or before you get 3 months behind in your utilities, come to us early. It's a lot easier to pay 1 month in arrears than it is to pay 3 months.
Yes.
And so we try to stress that, and the service officers do that as well. But those are the kinds of things that the Veterans Council does.
All right. I see we got this right here, the tribute to the fallen comrade, Sergeant Major Ray Quinn, friend of both of ours. Talk a little bit about what this tribute to the fallen comrade Ray Quinn, and talk about, I know what a great man he is, but I mean, the people don't know he was a county commissioner, but explain to why Ray Quinn is the one we're doing the tribute.
Well, Ray
to.
Quinn, not only was he a county commissioner at one time, he was retired from the Florida National Guard as a sergeant major, and he was actually the chairman of the Veterans Council at one time. And then when he went on the county commission board, he came to me and asked me, would I take over the Veterans Council while he was serving as a commissioner, which he couldn't do while he was on the commission board. I agreed to do that. And Then when he came off the county commission board, came back to the Veterans Council, I said, okay, we're going to hand it back to you now as the chairman. He says, no, you're doing such a great job. I think you should stay on. He said, but I will be your vice chairman. And he became a vice chairman and was the vice chairman up until the time that he passed away, Thanksgiving of 2023.
Yeah.
And I have such a strong feeling for Ray. Not only did we work together on matters pertaining to veterans, but he was a very, very close friend. And his passing was a real blow to me, and as many others. But there is a tribute to fallen comrade that Ray wrote several years ago, and now has it actually patented. And so we do that every year at Memorial Day. We read this support this tribute to fallen comrade, and I'll be doing it again this year at Memorial Day. And it's a very touching ceremony. It has the boots, the gun, and the helmet, and each of those are symbolic of a soldier and a soldier's life.
Yeah.
And so we'll be doing that tribute again this year.
Well, thank you, Colonel. I appreciate you coming in, and we're going to do some comments, but people need to understand, you had a whole nother career after your military career. I mean, you were a lieutenant colonel, and then you ran two Fortune 500 companies after that.
Aerospace companies.
Aerospace companies after that, and now you are the face of the veterans here, and you're a spry 88 years old.
88 years old.
But this week at our Rotary, we celebrated Colonel Pruitt's 105th birthday. So I mean, you guys are still keeping it going.
We are, and we just lost John Provo last Thursday night, and we honored John Provo a couple of years ago on his 100th birthday at the county commission, and he just passed away last Thursday at 102. So we do continue to honor our veterans even in their hundreds.
Yeah, that's amazing. Hey, Blake, we're now at this point, and thank you, Colonel. We're almost about ready to wrap it up here,
Sure.
but if you can stick with us for just a little bit longer.
Yep.
Blake, how would you like to check the comments today?
All right, so on this Wednesday, my Willie Self will wistfully wander through the wacky world of the waking watchers.
All right, sounds like you're throwing walks at wabbits. All right. While Blake's doing that, I'm going to go over and talk about our amazing group, BNS Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to BNS Signs, proudly family owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance, with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp, just like our one at Veterans Village, and they helped us out with that and the flagpoles. Making a lasting impression with BNS Signs. Visit bnssigns.com, because when it comes to signs, they do it all. All right. And also another family owned and has been here a while, St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprise, serving the community since 1988, with over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and office. You'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building comes with free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options that fit your budget. And they help you with that whole permitting thing, and that is huge. Visit them at State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092. St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience. All right, Blake, what do we got in those?
All right, so we have Wawa at 319 and Costco at 271. Thank you, Tim. Joy says BP at Lewis Point was 282, but now it's 317. Hot Water was the winner for question of the day, and Kenny says his arthritis says hot weather is his favorite.
Yeah, cold weather's not good for that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Kelly says we should always support the people who fought for our freedom. Shelly says Florida needs to give all veterans a tax break, and Nick says thank you for your service, sir. Much respect.
Yeah. All right, and a lot of people said, "Wow, he doesn't look his age." So, all right. Stodium stat today. The Stodium stat today on this day, 1901, Connecticut becomes the first state to have a speed limit. So, and their speed limit was, Blake, you want to take a guess at it?
28.
You want to take a guess, Colonel?
15.
All right. It was 15 in the country on a country road, but in the city it was 12.
12.
It was 12. So, and that was the speed limit. It was our very first speed limit. I probably would have got a ticket at that time also. But so thank you, Connecticut, for all the tickets that have been written in the world. All right. And that Stodium stat is brought to us by St. Augie's Pizza. I'm not going to try and point to it because I always point the wrong way. St. Augie's Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right at the corner of Riberia and MLK. Get a slice today. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Plugs. Get out to the Memorial Day. Bobby did ask, he asked after Blake was, what time is the flag? And it's Friday at 10 a.m., if I heard that correctly.
10 a.m., 10 a.m. flags in, 10 a.m. for the Memorial Day service, and 10 a.m. for the flags out.
Okay. So do you still need help with the flags
We
in?
do.
Okay.
We could use
All right.
volunteers.
Okay. So 10 a.m. on Friday. That'll help out with what you got going. Blake, any plugs you got? All right. And come back with us. We got tasting tonight on Bollocks at 5:00. And tomorrow we have Mayor Dylan Rumrell, another supporter of veterans.
Big supporter.
And he's going to talk about what happened with Guana and some of the stuff that's happening in city of St. Augustine Beach and around the community. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you later today.